In the last video, we talked about leaves in general. Why do plants have or not have leaves? What is their function? And how are the leaves modified? I will link the video below for you to check out and remind yourself of a basic leaf morphology. This time, we'll learn how to recognize different types of leaves, which is crucial for classification and identification of plants. You have probably noticed yourself how diverse plants are. And if not, just look around, or think of popular houseplants. Those long, strappy Dracaena leaves look nothing like the divided leaves of Schefflera, and the tiny, heart-shaped leaves of Ceropegia differ in size quite a bit compared to large Alocasia leaves. So why is that? Why don't all leaves look alike? There are certain evolutionary explanations, especially concerning the size of leaves and their division. For example, plants growing in shady tropical forests tend to have larger leaves to maximize their sun exposure, whereas plants growing in hot, dry environments tend to have smaller leaves to minimize water evaporation. So how are leaves categorized? Firstly, we divide them into simple and compound leaves. A simple leaf has one leaf blade that can be either entire or lobed, but it always comes in one piece. On the other hand, compound leaves consist of multiple small leaflets that are physically separated from each other, all of them joining the main axis, called a rachis, creating one leaf. So how can you tell whether you're looking at a simple or a compound leaf? Most of the time, you can find an axillary bud at the place where the leaf joins a stem or a branch. As you might remember from the previous video, most plant leaves have a petiole, a stalk joining the leaf blade to the stem. If you can't find an axillary bud, look for a thickening of the petiole at the base or even a leaf scar on a stem. Follow the petiole towards the leaf blade and see what you arrive at. Is the leaf blade in only one piece? You've got a simple leaf. Are there more leaves coming off the petiole? You might be looking at a compound leaf. In the case of a compound leaf, each individual leaf is called a leaflet. To see if this is the case, check the base of each leaf. Can you see any buds? If it's a true compound leaf, you won't find any axillary buds there. It might also help you to know the main types of compound leaves. A compound leaf can be either palmately compound or pinnately compound. Leaflets of palmately compound leaves radiate from one point at the tip of the petiole. Good example of this type of leaf are Schefflera, strawberry, or oxalis. When the leaflets attach along the rachis individually, we call it a pinnately compound leaf. A good example would be a walnut tree leaf. The leaflets might be attached to the rachis directly, these are sessile leaflets, or connected by a stalk called a petiolule. Pinnately compound leaves can be either odd pinnate, which means they have a terminal leaflet, or evenly pinnate, where you'll find only two rows of leaflets without a terminal one. Sometimes pinnately compound leaves get even more complex, when their leaflets themselves have rows of leaflets on each side of the rachis. We call these double pinnately compound leaves or bipinnate leaves for short, like in this case of Jacaranda mimosifolia. There are even tripinnate leaves, like in the moringa tree. In some plants, recognizing whether you're looking at a simple or a compound leaf can be very straightforward, but with many others, it can be quite difficult to figure it out. I recommend that you go out and look at as many different leaves as you can and try to guess their leaf type yourself by looking closely and carefully. Then, check the species description in a book or on the internet to confirm your guess. If you do this a few times, you'll start to get a hang of it pretty quickly. Compound leaves might have many advantages for plants. Think about it. When an insect begins to feed on one leaflet, its spread across the leaf is slower than it would be on one intact leaf blade. Also, one damaged leaflet doesn't inhibit the function of a whole leaf, as it would in the case of a simple leaf. Another advantage is that divided leaves provide better airflow and thus more carbon dioxide gets to each leaflet, as opposed to having just one large, undivided leaf blade. In general, plants with large leaves, such as palm trees, have compound leaves, which helps them to avoid damage by wind. Plant species with large leaves that have simple undivided leaf blades, such as banana or strelitzia, have weakened lines across their leaves, so when the wind blows, the leaf tears. These tears provide a plant with some of the benefits of compound leaves. Did this video help you to understand the concept of compound leaves? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to visit our website, where you can download free PDF materials to help you learn compound leaf types. Thank you for watching.